Hello everyone. Today's video will be about how to relieve stress before and during an interview. Many people can become stressed leading up to interviews. It's a pretty common thing to have happen. Meeting someone that you don't know and having that first impression be what will probably decide if you get the job that you really want right now, that puts a lot of pressure on you, and you just need to make everything go right. So, if you can, it's a good idea to try and do some things to manage your stress and make sure you can perform your best the day of the interview. If you have a few days notice before the interview, it's a good idea to think and plan and rehearse about what you're going to be saying to that interviewer. You can't go in there like a blank slate and expect things to magically come out of you. It doesn't really work that way. You have to be methodical and think of questions that they might have, and then think of your answers that will give them the best impression of you. The second thing that you want to consider is getting enough sleep the day of the interview. We all hear getting enough sleep is important, but I mean, it's also important to get before important events. You can't be jet lagged coming off of a flight from somewhere and expect to be good interview material. You're going to be spacey, you're going to lose your train of thought in the middle of a sentence. It's just not going to look pretty. So, very important, get your sleep. The third thing that you want to consider is probably you should eat something before you head into the interview. You don't want to get there and suddenly realize, wait, I'm hungry. Or even worse, I'm hangry. I need to eat something right now. But, and then everything just kind of starts getting worse from there because you can't really focus on the conversation, or you're getting shaky and nervous and it's just not a good thing to have happen. Fourthly, you want to arrive a little bit early. Arrive a little bit early. If the interview is a call, you might want to make sure that you're in a nice, calm area. That way, you're not going to get any disturbances or anyone asking you questions in the middle of your interview. And being early or finding that calm place early on just gives you a little bit of familiarity with the environment and gives you a little bit of time to settle any last minute nerves that you might have before the interview. And speaking of settling those nerves, a good way that I like to settle my nerves is to focus on my breathing for a little bit. Make sure I'm breathing nice and deep, and then I'll try and see if I can relax any areas in my body that might be a little tense. It's kind of like mindfulness meditation, I think, but only for just a few minutes right before the interview. While you're in the interview, I think the most important thing to keep in mind is to have a conversation with that person. Most interviewers are there to get to know you and see if you would be a good fit for the company that they're working for. So try and be personable and amiable. If you find yourself getting nervous during the interview, take a deep breath, hold it for a little bit, and let it out. Or just try and breathe more slowly and deeply. This relaxes your body and lets it know that you're not in a fight or flight situation. If you found any of these tips or tricks helpful, you guys could leave a like, a comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys later.